Hi there, my name is Spira. Welcome to my channel. My channel is mainly about yoga and other somatic modalities, and mainly in regards to trauma healing. I throw other videos in here and there too, but that's the general gist of it. And I specialize in childhood trauma because that's basically what I'm experiencing, what I'm working with, and how I'm healing my own nervous system and my physical body. So, the reason I made this video is because I made this video a few years ago when I first started practicing TRE. Actually, it wasn't when I first started. I had been practicing for a while, but during that time, that's when I was actually doing my training to become a TRE provider. And the reason I did that is because I found TRE so incredibly helpful that I wanted to share it with other people. And now I work with people in groups. I teach workshops locally, and I do one-on-ones either in person or online. So if you do need to work with a provider, feel free to reach out to me. We can do it on Zoom if you live far away, but if you're in the Boston area, we can definitely do a one-on-one. Having said that, so the reason I did a newer video is because, like I said, I made a video a few years ago and it did really well. It went viral, and there were a lot of questions, and then I made a Q&A video, and so I ended up answering those questions. Now, looking back, it is kind of an older video now, and I felt like it needed to be refreshed, it needed to be redone, but also I'm cutting out the personal parts too. The first time that I made that video, again, I was still a little earlier in my trauma healing journey, so I shared a lot more about my personal experiences. But for this one, we're just going to get right into the exercises themselves. So I hope you find this useful. Oh, and before we begin, I just want to reiterate one of the biggest complaints that I got from that first video was, I shouldn't say complaints, requests, complaint/request, was that people wanted it to be timed differently. They wanted it to be more like a yoga video where we're doing it together in real time. I will apologize right away and say that that's simply impossible to do. So you're not going to get that today either. And the reason is because everyone is different. Everyone breathes differently. And when you do the exercises and I show you, for example, that we're going to fatigue the calf muscles, for example, and I show you the exercise to do in order to fatigue your calf muscles, I don't know how long it's going to take you. I only know how long it takes me to fatigue my own calf muscles. So it's absolutely impossible to figure out the timing, how long to make each section of each exercise. It's just not possible. So apologies for that, but you're gonna have to simply pause the video if you need more time. And all I can say is I'm sorry. That's, the last video got 200,000 views, and there's no way that 200,000 people would all be able to work under the same timing. So apologies in advance. But anyway, onto the video, and have fun tremoring. Okay, so the first exercise is with the feet. We're going to start by innervating the feet, basically just turning on the nervous system. And basically what you want to do is soften the knees a little bit, right? We don't want to lock the knees. So you're going to keep them soft. Rock to one side. Notice how I'm on the outer edge of one foot and on the inner edge of the other foot. And then you're going to take a full, deep belly breath and then rock to the other side. So we're going to do 5 rounds of this. And whatever your pace is fine. Some people move a little slower. Some people move a little faster. I just want you to remember that every time you rock, take a breath. The reason for this is to get into the habit of belly breathing throughout the practice is actually going to help you with the tremoring portion itself. And we'll talk more about it later, but basically the gist of it is if you can keep focus on the breathing, then it will help you if your body gets stuck or if you stop tremoring for any reason. It's going to help you to get out of your head and to stay in your body. That's 5 rounds. After you're done, we're going to shake. We're just going to shake it off. You can shake any way you want. You can do a little dance. It's all good. The second exercise is for the calf muscles, and what we're trying to do is fatigue them. We're going to tucker them out. So if we're on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no fatigue and 10 being the most fatigued, we're going for a 7 out of 10. You can do this in 2 different ways. You can either do 1 foot at a time, relax 1 foot and use the other foot to raise and lower the heel until you get the calves tired. The other way is to do both. You can use the wall for balance, or if you don't need to, you can do both. My recommendation, especially if you have stronger calves, is maybe don't touch the floor with your heels. Maybe raise them really slowly and lower them really slowly. So when you slow down, that is going to create a little more tension, and hopefully that might get the muscles to get tired a little bit faster. Now, as I mentioned before, I have no idea how long it's going to take you, and that's why I can't give you a specific time frame. But when you get to a 7, you're going to stop, and once again, give them a shake. Maybe shake the arms too. I like to shake everything. So the next one is for the hamstrings and the adductor muscles, the muscles on the inner thighs. Now, the thing with the hamstrings is a lot of people have tighter hamstrings, and that's okay if yours are tight. I'm going to show you how to deal with that. So this one requires a folding forward. So you're going to widen the stance, and it doesn't have to be super wide. You can be, where it's fairly comfortable. Bend your knees a little bit. I think that's going to help, especially if you have tight hamstrings. And then you're going to fold forward. Let the head hang down nice and loose. And then start to move your knees towards straight until you can feel the stretch. And it's going to look like this from the side. So if your knees are bent, then start to just move towards straight. Keep the neck relaxed. So even if your legs don't come all the way straight, as long as you're feeling the stretch in the hamstring, that is good enough. And then you're going to take 3 breaths here. 3 breaths for the hamstrings. The next step is you're going to move to one side. And what we want to try to do is get the stretch to move to the inner thigh, into the adductor muscle. And you can, again, let the head hang nice and loose. Take 3 breaths. I often bend my knee to get to the inner thigh. You may not have to. Again, everybody's body is different. You're going to come to the other side. 3 breaths here. And then back to center. Bend your knees and start to make your way back up. So remember, it's forward fold, 3 breaths for the hamstrings, 3 breaths for one side for the adductor muscles, and 3 breaths on the other side for the adductor muscles. Okay? The next exercise is for thighs and glutes. Now, you might not feel this in the front and the back of the thighs. Everyone is different, but what we're trying to do is, again, fatigue this muscle group. So you'll notice it's a combination of stretching and fatiguing different muscle groups. So this one in particular is similar, if you've ever done yoga, similar to chair pose. So basically, I'm just going to ask you to be mindful. Don't send your knees forward to this particular squat. You want to sit back. So you're sending the hips backwards, and then you're going to pause. Now you can rest your hands on your thighs. You can take them forward for balance. You can hold onto a wall, whatever it is that you need. And then again, we're going for a 7 out of 10. Now, some people, if they work out a lot, might take a long time. And if that's the case, dip a little lower. That will help speed it up. And then the other thing is you can raise and lower as well. And if you do that to speed up the process, move slow. Raise up real slow. Lower really slowly. Again, we're going for a 7 out of 10 for a fatigue level. Once you're at that 7, you're going to come back up, shakey shake, shake the arms too, and you're good to go. The next one is the psoas itself, the psoas stretch. And this one can be done either standing or on the knees. I'm going to show you on the knees because I feel like the standing version is the one people have the most hard time with. Well, never mind, I'll show you both, just in case. So this one is similar to before, where we want to keep the knees soft. We don't want to lock the knees, soft. We're going to take the hands behind the back. Notice I'm on my lower back here. Pretend like you're wearing jeans and you're putting your hands in your jean pockets. What we're trying to do is push the muscle forward. So the psoas, big muscle, it attaches from the mid-spine all the way to the top of your thigh bones, to your femurs. And so what we're trying to do to get it to stretch is we're pressing the hips forward, and then don't lean back. Think about your rib cage, lifting it up. So I'm pressing forward and then lifting my rib cage up, and maybe you'll feel that stretching your psoas. But it's not the end of the world if you don't feel it very obviously. That's kind of normal, so don't worry about it. But 3 breaths in the middle. And then you turn to one side and take 3 breaths. I like to move my elbow back. And then the other side, 3 breaths here. Now, if you want to try an easier version of this, if it's a little bit much, or if you get any discomfort in your low back by doing it standing up, we're going to do it on the floor. So from here again, press the hips forward, lift the chest, 3 full deep breaths through the belly. Turn to one side, 3 full breaths on one side. And then 3 full breaths on the other side. And again, you'll notice that I'm not timing it in any way. I don't know how long your breaths are. I can't give you a very specific timing. Some people breathe very slowly, and some people breathe quickly. Depends on where you're at, your anxiety, stress levels, etc. And once again, I'm gonna shake. I may not have shaken after the last one. Forgive me if I didn't. And finally, the last one is the wall sit. Make sure you don't have socks on when you do this, because we don't want you to slip on the floor. So the wall sit, we're going for fatigue again, as I mentioned before, right? 7 out of 10. Now, if you sit really deep, you'll probably feel it very fast. And if that's the case, just press up a little bit and then wait, give it a little time. I'm gonna breathe through the belly, like I've mentioned before. We're going for a 7 out of 10. Once you reach that level 7 of fatigue, now you're gonna slide all the way up. Widen the stance, keep the knees bent if you'd like, and we're gonna do another forward fold. Let the head hang nice and loose, and you wanna wait a full minute. If it helps, you can keep your phone nearby, whatever you need, or a clock so you can watch it. And then after that full minute, keep the knees bent, come back up, and again, shake, okay? All right, and then we're gonna get into the tremoring part. Okay, when you're ready to tremor, you're gonna come onto your mat, lay back, bring the feet together, knees apart. We're gonna pause here for another full minute, and I want you to breathe through the belly while you're here. So there's a bit of timing that happens here. But once again, for the sake of the video, I'm not gonna do the full timing. You'll have to count a full minute for yourself. So full minute here, letting the muscles on the inner thighs rest. On the next minute, you're gonna press the hips up, and you're gonna hold this for a minute, and again, breathe through the belly. That's the most important part. Now notice how there's a little bit of rocking happening here. It's totally normal if there's a little bit of rocking. That's because I already tremor, and it's also a sign that your body's ready to tremor. My body is always ready to tremor. So 1 minute here, and then lower the hips again. Wait another full minute. Keep breathing through the belly the whole time. And again, keep a clock nearby or keep your phone nearby, whatever it is that you need. After that full minute, now we're gonna start the tremors themselves. So you wanna press the feet together, lift the knees up. What we're doing is trying to get the knees close to each other. You're gonna pause here, breathe through the belly, and just bring your awareness inwards and start to notice what you're feeling. Be curious, okay? Just notice what's happening. You might not feel anything, or you might feel little gentle tremors. And then keep breathing, bring the knees closer, Back to the belly breathing. As you get higher and higher, the knees are going to start to tremble a little bit. The tremors might start. Keep breathing through your belly. That's the key, and I'm going to say that one until my face is as blue as my hair. But keep breathing through the belly. See how the knees come up higher, and now I'm absolutely tremoring, and I know that my body is ready for the tremoring. Some folks might have to come all the way up. Everyone is different. When you are ready and you're definitely tremoring, bring your feet to the floor. Now I want you to notice the angle of my feet. These are guidelines, remember, okay? We're going for approximately a 90-degree angle, approximately. My feet are approximately 3 inches apart, and the knees are a bit wider. Now, I don't really have to look because I'm used to doing this now and I'm used to working with other people, but if I take a peek, well, yeah, my feet are basically exactly 3 inches apart. So the tremoring in the beginning will probably be in the lower body. It's not true for everyone. For some folks, it goes whoop all the way up the spine. For others, it might take time. Don't worry about how long it takes. For me, it took, maybe a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, but a good friend of mine, it took him like 6 months for the tremors to go all the way up. Over time, everyone is different. Be patient and let whatever happens, happens. Now don't forget, I have the Q&A video, so if you're still kind of stuck on anything at all, then please watch that before you put any questions in the comments, because I've answered probably every question I've gotten on my first video that has over 200,000 views. So again, check the Q&A video first. Now, for me, I can get the tremors to go up because right now I'm actually holding them down. I'm making them stay in the lower half while I talk so that you can see it. But all I have to do is think about it, and then the tremors go all the way up for me. And remember a couple of things. The tremors are going to look different for everybody. The reason my shoulders move like this is I actually have some shoulder issues. I have tendinitis in my shoulder, and I also have in my neck cervical disc degeneration. I have disc degeneration in my low back and a little bit of scoliosis. So the tremors in my body are going to look different than the tremors in your body. In the beginning, I'm gonna just kind of pause, bring myself back in. In the beginning, I did a lot of this. It was almost like a loosening. And then now I've noticed there's a lot more of this, a lot more side to side. And that could be because of my degeneration in the low back is increasing a little bit. So I get some tightness there too. So it goes where you need it. But I always need it up here too. So when I tell it to go up to my neck and my shoulders, it will comply. You'll find over time you will develop a relationship with your tremors, which sounds awkward maybe, but it is the truth, and you'll see that it changes over time. Now I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses here too, right? What if your tremors keep stopping and starting and you're like, what the hell, like I can't, why do they stop? That's because you're in your head. So let's just say you're trying to tremor and they just kind of fizzle out. I want you to go right back to your belly, breathe. And you're going to wait a little bit. Okay, just keep breathing and see if they come back. If they don't come back, there's a couple other things you can do. If you're very, very new at this and you've only done it once or 0, then I recommend coming back to the butterfly position and then pressing up and then coming back and starting that process over again. You definitely don't have to do the exercises again. But if you've done it a few times and this has kind of been a consistent issue where it stops and starts, I have some little tricks. One is I call it like a jump start. Press your hips up and drop them. I mean, you're not dropping from very far, maybe just a couple inches and then dropping. To me, it's almost like the those old like lawnmowers where you had to like pull the string. It's like pulling the string and getting the engine to start. So a little bit of like a jolt, you know. That's one way to do it. And then the other thing that you can try again, like I said, is to come back to butterfly. Now, some people I've learned can't tremor at all unless they're here. And you can tremor here the whole time if you think you need to, but hopefully it won't be for very long. Hopefully you'll be able to tremor from here over time and it will seem normal, and you'll be fine after that. Now, a couple other tricks too. If they're still stuck in the legs and you can't get them to go up the spine, couple of things. One, work with a provider, because we know a lot of tricks and techniques, and we can watch your body tremor, and we can kind of figure out what kind of interventions you might need. That's what we call them, interventions. But I'll give you a couple of sort of general interventions just in case. So one is to take the hands up in front of you, make fists, and maybe hold them for 3 to 5 seconds. And when you let go, let them go like you're a superhero in a Marvel movie. And then do it again. Hold, squeeze, create tension, and then do it again. So I recommend 3 to 5 of these, and then release the arms and just notice, see what happens. You can do it from here too, make fists and release. You can also take the arms all the way up, make fists, and release from here too. Now, this is just one type of intervention. There are a lot of things that you can do, and I encourage you to experiment and be playful. You might discover something that works really well. Another one that I've done with students, or clients rather, is to bring my shoulders up toward each other, like curling them forward, and then 3 to 5 breaths, and then dropping them down, and then doing it again, right? So doing that maybe 3 to 5 times. And a third intervention you can try is to hike the shoulders up to the neck, but keep breathing through the belly. Don't forget, right? We're making this tension, and then dropping it again. So these are some ways that you can kind of get the body to innervate other parts of the body. So if the tremors are still down here, that's sort of kind of the goal is to clear the pathway, basically, and get them to move up. Over time, like I said, you will find that you can literally just tell the tremors to move, and they should move. So once you're finished, oh, I shouldn't get up yet, but once you're finished, you're gonna straighten your legs, and you're gonna pause. Give yourself at least 3 minutes. I'd say 3 to 5, 3 is good, to just breathe, soften, rest. You can rest on your back, or you can turn to one side if you would prefer. When you're on your back, if the tremors don't stop right away, you can flex the feet, press the backs of your knees towards the floor, almost like hitting the brakes with both of your legs. That should stop the tremors. And if they're still not stopping because your body's just so excited because you just created this new thing and it's like, oh my God, I want to keep going, then you can try what I said earlier, roll over to your side. That should help. After those 3 to 5 minutes, you're good to go. Now, if you get up and you feel a little lightheaded for any reason, get a drink of water, reground yourself. Remember your grounding techniques. Feel your feet on the floor. Put your hands on your legs or squeeze your hands. Make sure you're fully grounded. Drink a full glass of water. Maybe have a little snack. For a snack, just skip the candy and maybe have a protein snack like some almonds or something like that, or a piece of string cheese. And that should do it. And that's it. I hope you found this helpful. Enjoy your tremoring, and please feel free to reach out if you need anything at all. Thank you.